last year, in recognizing the huge explosion in data, both structured data and unstructured data, the things that are covered in the paper that Stacey was talking about, the Page Society has in work. We thought it was really important as a company to be able to try and get a grip on the things that people were saying about IBM, the conversation around IBM, to better understand how it is that we were being talked about and thought about in the moment. And so to respond to that, to get to the 2 points about measurement of conversation, discussion, and about understanding what it is your stakeholders are thinking about, we created a thing called the Cognitive Communication Center, and I can show you what that looks like. Here it is. So the Cognitive Communication Center is a room that's built in our headquarters up in Armonk in Westchester. It's the place where we, in real time, try to understand what it is that people are talking about in relation to IBM. As you can see, it's the focus of the room is 12 screens on the main wall where we can see a combination of real-time news, discussion about IBM and other companies that we're interested in following discussion about. You can see the Bloomberg feed in the bottom right-hand corner, and we can keep track of what it is that's going on in the media in real time. The room is interesting for a whole host of reasons. Obviously, it's a means for us to follow the debate, but we're also deploying Watson, which is our cognitive computing asset, in the room to try to understand over time the sentiment, so how it is people are thinking about the discussion, but also beginning to get Watson to look at imagery and video and give us insight into that in a way that historically wouldn't be possible. So both a mix of structured and unstructured data.
Fantastic. I imagine that in the space that you're in, things are moving so fast, and you have to keep your people updated on the latest and the greatest because you want to be ahead of your clients. I'm wondering if you can talk about how you do that with your associates, and also, as we talk about engaging individuals, but at scale, is there anything that you've been able to do to make sure that as you're briefing your people, you do it in a way that's giving the most relevant info to the right people?
Sure. So in response to that exact challenge of keeping people up to date, in 2013, my colleagues created, I think, what is the largest online university sort of closed education system in the world to help create a mechanism for people inside IBM to get up to date on all the things that we're talking to our clients about, because obviously people have particular areas of specialism, but we feel it's important that everybody has a sort of core level of understanding on the topics on which we talk to our clients. So we created this thing called Think Academy, which is an online portal where once a month we put up a whole host of content. So there'll be podcasts, there'll be video. We do a live screening of our CEO talking to a client about that particular topic. There are materials there for our salespeople. It's a full suite of content on the topic in question. And what this chart shows is one of the nice things about the system is that it's not linear at all in the way that people access the content. So the dots you can see are IBMers accessing a particular course on Think Academy. And what you can see from the way that the dots are moving is that people go through the content in very different ways. And the system is designed for flexibility, to the second part of your question, Stacey, where if I only have 20 minutes to engage with the topic, there's a way that I can navigate through the system to get up to speed using just that little bit of time. If I'm particularly interested in the CEO, client, speaker, then I can go there, and people sort of navigate through the system in different ways. So Ginny's been doing these sort of once a month communications with the whole of our firm, with our 400,000 people over the last, 3 or 4 years, and we have an app that enables people to do it on the road. It's a sort of a nice, smart, comprehensive way to get people up to speed. And just one more point on it. One of the cool things about it is that it learns about your interests and the way that you use the site over time. So when you come back, it adapts the way that it presents the content in order to make it as accessible to you as possible.
That's very cool. Very cool. Well, I was wondering if we could play true or false next.
For sure.
Is it true or false that you still have a Friendster account?
It's true.
I heard someone say, "Oh my God," over there. That was good. That was out loud. That was the outside voice. I love it. Okay, but seriously, true or false, I heard a rumor that you have your own Kickstarter inside of IBM.
Yeah, that rumor is true as well. So, so here's a third case study so my colleagues earlier this year felt that it was really important that we came up with a way to engage as many people in IBM as possible in thinking about Watson and what Watson can do. So we created a sort of internal competition, I suppose, to see how people would use the Watson APIs to develop different kinds of solutions, something that would be useful for our clients, something that might be useful for IBM, or augmenting a product or service that already existed. And we called this thing the cognitive build. So it's a sort of running together of Shark Tank and home improvement and a whole host of things sort of wrapped up in one. How did this thing play out? So over the course of 88 days, we set a challenge to our 400,000 people to use Watson APIs to develop new kinds of products, services, and solutions. People came together in teams across offices, across geographies. We ended up with about 8,500 teams, I think, that sort of got to work on these projects. In the end, about 2,500 of those got to something that they thought was a working solution. And that's where the Kickstarter piece comes in. So let me see if this works. So we gave, so here, this was the online mechanism for people to form teams, and we wanted to put it on a digital platform to enable people to work across geographies. And then we said, well, for these 2,700 projects, how should we judge who gets to go to the in-person Shark Tank event in Austin to present their projects to a panel of clients and our chairman? What we did here was give every IBMer 2,000 IBM dollars, which are worth about the same as US dollars, and allocate those to the projects they like best. So you go into the system, you have your 2,000 IBM dollars, and you can put it against whichever of the projects you think is the most exciting. So the platform is obviously fully digitally enabled, so people can go and see those. So one team came up with an anti-bullying app using Watson APIs. It was very popular. Lots of people invested their IBM dollars in that. There was plenty of business applications. So someone created an app that would work like a career advisor for young people. Again, got lots and lots of support. I think something like 275,000 IBMers spent their money on the site, so nearly $300 million worth of IBM dollars got spent. And as I say, in the end, most popular projects got to go and present their ideas, how they're using these cognitive technologies to solve all sorts of problems to a panel of clients and to our CEO. So here's one example of one of the pages that teams built in order to try and attract investment in their projects.
That is
so a nice way to sort of engage people using a digital platform in some of the things that we're working on as a company.